everyone. In this section, we want to talk about the electrical system of the heart, or the conducting system of the heart. The major part of the electrical system is called the sinoatrial node. First, we want to see where the sinoatrial node is located. It's located on the wall of the atrium, and it's close to where the superior vena cava enters the right atrium. This is the right atrium, and this is the superior vena cava. The place that the superior vena cava is entering the right atrium, somewhere close to it, the sinoatrial node is located. But it's more to the lateral side of the heart. So it's more lateral than the superior vena cava. The sinoatrial node acts as the pacemaker of the heart. It means the collection of the neurons that it has initiate, and they start the electrical pulse of the whole electrical system. So the SA node will cause the rhythmic contractions of the heart, and those rhythmic contractions will be passed on as we go through. From here, as you see, this is called the Bachmann's bundle. This bundle will go through the interatrial pathway. Here is an interatrial pathway, because this is the right atrium and here is the left atrium. So through the interatrial pathway, the Bachmann's bundle will pass through, and then it will be distributed to the left atrium, and it will cause this side will cause the contraction of the left atrium, and on the other side, as it was the sinoatrial node, here it will cause the contraction of the right atrium. So both atriums, or we could say atria, will be contracting at the same time. And the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system can have effects on the sinoatrial node. It means the sympathetic nervous system can cause an increase in the rate or the force of the interaction. So it can affect how sinoatrial node will give the electrical impulse. And the other way, the parasympathetic nervous system can cause the decrease in the force or the rate of the contraction. It means, again, it can have effect on the sinoatrial node, but opposite than the sympathetic nervous system. Both of these can have effects on how the heart electrical system works. So as we mentioned, the SA node, it will activate an electrical impulse, and that will cause the cardiac muscle of the atria. It means the right atrium and the left atrium to contract. And after they are contracted, there will be a wave spread through the muscular wall of the both atriums. So the whole wall of the atriums will be passing those impulses through, and it will cause the contraction, the whole contraction of the atria. After that, as you see here, we have some tracts. This is called the anterior tract, and here in the middle we have the middle tract, and on the other side here we have the posterior tract. Why? Because the posterior side of the heart is here, and here is more to the anterior side. And through these tracts, to the atrioventricular node, or the AV node. This is the AV node. Now we want to see where the AV node is located. This structure that you see here is called the coronary sinus. Coronary sinus is like a hole. It will open into the right atrium, and it drains blood into the right atrium. Close to this coronary sinus, we can find the AV node of the heart. The AV node will also keep passing the impulse of the heart through this bundle that you see, that is called the atrioventricular bundle. It's called atrioventricular because it's located in between the atria and ventricles. Now, why does it only pass through this bundle? It's because here, as you see, we have the tricuspid valves, and here we have the semilunar valve, and then here we also have the bicuspid valve. So because in those valves there's fibroskeleton, that fibroskeleton insulates the heart. It means it doesn't let the electrical impulses pass. The fibrous skeleton that exists in the walls will insulate the heart. It means it will stop the electric impulse to pass from the other sides other than the atrioventricular bundle. Now this happens because the ventricles need more time. They have to contract. As they contract, there should be more time for the atria to pump blood into the ventricles. Also, it will stop the contraction of atria and the ventricles to happen at the same time, because if they both contract, then the blood will be mixed. Through the atrioventricular bundle, or the bundle of His. Here it's called the bundle of His. First, we want to have a closer look at the anatomy of the septum of the heart. Here in this part, as you see, the ventricular septum, the top part of the septum is consisted of membranous part, and then here is the muscular part. So on the membranous part, it will divide into two branches, and through the muscular part we will have two branches, which are the right and the left bundle branches. This right and the left bundle branches will go through all the way through the interventricular septum, and then they will also and then as you see here, the left bundle will go through the left side of the ventricle, and here we have the Purkinje fibers. Purkinje fibers will deliver the impulse of the heart to the ventricular muscles. And then on the other side also we have the right bundle, and the right bundle also transfers. As the electric impulse is passed through the Purkinje fibers, the ventricular muscles also start to contract. So if we want to have a quick summary, we can tell that when the atria contracts, it will push the extra bit of the blood into the ventricles. Because even before the contraction of the atria and in the diastole of the whole heart also, the blood was passing through the atria and going to fill the ventricles. But as the atria contracts, it will push that extra bit of the blood into the ventricles. And then when the ventricles contract, after the electrical impulse of the heart is spread through those Purkinje fibers, the contraction of the ventricles will pump the blood into the pulmonary artery and the aorta. So, systole of the ventricles. Now, if we want to have a quick summary, when the atria contracts, it will push blood into the ventricles, and then after the ventricles contract, and the ventricles contraction is consisted of the twist and contraction. Contraction is consisted of a twist and contraction. So it will push blood up through the pulmonary trunk and the aorta. And then when the ventricles relax, the atria starts to squeeze and push the blood again into the ventricles. So that's the summary. I hope you all found this helpful, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.